Listening to a QLB Media Group podcast.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is We Just Talking This Tourist Edition version 2.0. And yes, episode goddamn number 7.
Number 7.
Made it
Lucky
to 7.
Lucky number 7.
And there was no woman that took me away from this. Like
that happened at episode 5.
Yes.
5.
We made it.
Mm-hmm.
we made it. We
yes,
are there.
Clap. Ladies and gentlemen, Rosa got them titties out for y'all again.
So if you started on Apple or Google Podcasts, go ahead and switch to YouTube so you can see Peach and Punch.
Peach and Punch.
Oh, wow. Wow.
My eyelash shifted. You shook it so good, girl. The wind just...
Wow.
That titty wind.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm loving it. But let me start this one. We're gonna get right to the point because we got so much to cover on SoulTies versus soulmates. Do you know the difference? And I'm gonna start it off with this
Let's
one.
go.
Let's get it on.
This goddamn episode. Shit.
Had your ass researching.
Shit. and a little lesson prior before. Shit. So,
Yeah. To break it
what
down.
is a soul tie, ladies and gentlemen? Let me move these notes over here to the right screen. Let's go. What is a soul tie, ladies and gentlemen? According to Google, a soul tie is the knitting together of two souls that refers to as a spiritual connection between them. So, soul ties. You feel as if you formed a special connection with the other person that usually happens after your shaboing boing.
The finger in the hand.
After the sexual intercourse. After you
roll through your flesh canoe.
After she get right. Paddles are still optional. After she gives you the gok, you might feel like you're in love.
Hey.
Like you got got.
Yes, like you got got. Because basically, there's two people who are physically intimate. Their souls are intertwined, just as their bodies are, and become one soul. However, this bond often develops into an unhealthy relationship, which often leads to an addictive and violent behavior, aka Kanye West.
That's a little more than a soul tie right there. That ain't.
I'm sure you can bring that example closer to home, but I digress. We'll get there. We all can. This ain't just Q. This ain't just Q Central. We all going to get hit with these, the negative and the positive. So let's be clear. I'm not jumping on QQ.
Because I got some. I could. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess let me open the floor with just off the top of the dome before we go further into it. Has either one of us had a soul tie and know it was a soul tie?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Yes, I did.
I didn't know at the time that's what you called it. I knew it was something. I just didn't know. I thought I was just addicted to some certain things, and I was like, why can't I let this go? Why can't I leave it alone? Why can't
you was addicted?
No,
or
it wasn't
a tongue did.
Might have been a little bit of that though, but ain't gonna lie.
But I definitely was, and it led me to do some silly small Kanye version type stuff, and then bang bang, nigga got shot, man.
That is not funny.
Nigga got shot, man.
That is not funny, but it is
Man,
kind of.
he tried to hit me with the 50 Cent, you know.
9 times.
Did, but we'll get into that on the later episode. I don't mind sharing that story. But yeah, soul ties versus soul. Well, wait a minute. Maybe back up. In my opinion, I like to say that not all soul ties are bad.
This is true.
They are not all bad.
Which then it could be possibly called having a soul mate.
Not necessarily, but sometimes.
It is a soulmate, and the difference is there are different types of soulmates. And once we get into it, we'll get down into that because there is a difference and there is a way that you can label those.
And the other thing is that when it comes to a soulmate, if I'm not incorrect on this, you can have a soulmate for different times of your life.
Yeah,
like a different phase in your life.
Yeah, because you're not the same version of yourself in every part of life, so you will have some type of soulmate in certain sections of your life. Yeah, and it'll be classified as a different type of soulmates because they're different. So as we go, you can probably in your head say, "Oh, that was that type of soulmate," or "That was that type of soulmate." So yeah, you're right.
But the problem is how do we tell the difference? Soul ties versus soulmates, and that's the name of this episode. Do you know the difference?
The Muffin Man.
I know the Muffin Girl, but soul tied or soulmate. Let's start by differentiating. I like that. Differentiating.
Oh my God.
One from the other. Soul ties results in an extreme attachment to the person you share the bond with. Many people define soul ties as two souls tied together by the spirit. Such a bond usually occurs, as I stated before, when the relationship ends or when you have been in a relationship for a long time. Remember that soul ties when you shaboing boing. I need some toys for this episode.
No, you don't.
No, you
like
don't.
A pocket
at
pussy
all.
in the dick. I'm gonna bring
Quentin,
props.
stay focused.
I'm gonna bring props to this here show. And then you have, yes, there you go.
They couldn't see that. Oh, hold up. Get it on me. Audio on me now. Visual. There you go. All right.
I cannot with y'all today.
Dang, that's the double golden ring. That's some good pussy. So
wait a minute.
Okay.
Then
Back to
you
the soul ties. Stay focused.
Then you have soulmates.
Focus.
Soulmates. Let's go.
It's when you feel an immediate connection with someone. It is beneficial to both parties. Soulmate is someone who will make you feel those butterflies. You give me butterflies inside. In your stomach from the first exchange of looks, and will continue to make you feel as if you're the only person in the world, always. Some even confuse soulmates with twin flames or mirror souls. Now, I'm going to read just a little bit now of, we're going to break that down. And then I'm going to get corrected after I break this down. Because what's the twin flame or mirror soul? A twin flame is when two souls are split in two, or two people are mirror image of each other. This results in an instant connection when the twin flames meet. Patria, let's go.
All right. So the thing about twin flames is that everyone does not have a twin flame. Everyone has a soulmate. Everyone can have a soul tie, but everyone does not have a twin flame. This is true because twin flames literally is the same soul split into two. They mirror one another, and usually when they come in contact, one is the runner and one is the chaser, because once they see each other, they reflect things that the other has that they do not like and that they need to work on, and they struggle doing that in the same space. Prime example is, it's funny, Will Smith's movie Hancock. Remember, if you've seen it, he was a superhero and he ended up coming in contact with his friend's wife, who actually happened to be his wife. And she said, when we merge, we lose our power and we become mortal and then we die. So essentially, that's kind of what it's like for twin flames, because they cannot operate in the same space. They lose their power, their purpose for what they're supposed to do when they connect for long periods of time. They can come together and it'll work out for a couple years, and then one leaves and come back. So that also looks like what we'll get into later, which is a karmic soulmate, because you get in this cycle of running and chasing, coming back to each other. It's real powerful. Then you leave and you come back, and it's a constant cycle. So everyone does not have a twin flame, and that's okay.
It's the movie visual analogy for me.
Yeah, that's the perfect example of a twin flame. And Will Smith and the other character.
And that means we're not banning Will Smith.
No, we're not.
Because that's a great movie.
It is.
So,
never banned it.
Yeah, Rosa, she schooled me with that one. I just read this stuff on the internet, and she just said that when people think of twin flames, they automatically think we got a soulmate. Yay!
No,
not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
Bubble,
probably why they're not the same word.
Bubble just got busted.
Completely.
Shit.
It's okay. That's why we're here.
But tarot cards can be helpful tool when in search of your soulmate. So if you want to find your soulmate, you can join a tarot reading online somewhere and just Google that shit. And once again, Patria,
be careful who you get a tarot reading from.
I heard that though.
Everybody is not a tarot reader. Everybody does not have the gift of tarot reading.
Including Google, that Q tried to get this information from, and it's okay, because I gathered him earlier today and we'll finish gathering him tonight. It's cool.
Yes, tarot reading is not a thing. It has become a fad. You'll find it all over TikTok, Instagram, all over social media, period. Different people. And especially if somebody reaches out to you saying, I got this message for you. Baby, please.
So should I call that 1-800 number that be on late night TV?
Leave Cleo alone. Leave Cleo alone. Cleo ain't got that.
I know you got a Cleo voice over there, Patria. Come on.
I don't. I talk to you just like I talk to you right now. Like,
you
I don't have to put on
imitation voice.
If anybody, no, I mean you like a Jamaican accent to talk like Cleo.
Yes.
Oh, call me now.
Call me now.
Get your readings right now. Call me. You want to know your future? You want to know if you have a twin flame? No, bitch. Hey, call me now. Only $9.99 per minute and $25 after each minute after that.
Yeah.
Call me.
So, okay, wait a minute.
Wagwan.
Give me the basic rundown of what happens when you call the real person for your tarot card.
I mean, that's very specific to what
that
we're
reader.
doing. Yeah, and to their reader. Every reader no reader operates the same, to be honest. You'll have similar things, but that's not the case. To your point, while we're talking about it, if you're in search of your soulmate, yeah, they can direct you, but to get to your soulmate, you got to get to your own soul first. So a lot of the tarot reading is about you and not anybody else. And it's going to speak to you about what you need to do to get to a place to attract what you're supposed to have. Otherwise, if you still full of shit, you're going to attract shit. Clear.
Yeah.
If you're not grounded and stable, how the fuck you going to attract somebody grounded and stable? You can't.
Oh, she's
You cannot.
Cuss words today. Do y'all?
Because I'm super passionate about
talking.
this stuff. Like, you can't make it make sense. Like, what do you bring to the table? Your ass ain't got a hammer. So if I had a table and the leg messed up, can you help me fix it? No, because you come in here without the right tools. Let's be clear. You come to my table with your own table. Now we got a bigger table.
Attraction. It has to. You're gonna attract what you are. You're gonna attract who you are, and that's how sometimes you end up being constantly asking yourself, "Why in the hell can I keep attracting these assholes?" You are an asshole.
Ooh.
Why I keep attracting these damaged ass people? Because you're damaged.
Damaged. Danny DeCane left a lot of money on the table.
Yes, they did.
I'm sorry. Okay, back.
I hear you over there, Rosie. You are absolutely correct. Makes me.
I'm sorry. Her boobs get me distracted.
All right.
Because that one right there is peeking at me. Peach is. And then she want to laugh, and that ain't jiggling real good. Peach is distracting me. Now Punch want to join in. Y'all heard that? They even made the mic move.
Focus, people. Focus.
Now that we got all that out the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the type of soul ties. Are you ready? We got the physical, the most common type. This bond is the result of sexual intercourse.
Sexual ecstasy.
You got to get that camera's attention so you could do the golden ring pussy over there.
5 golden rings.
When you decide to have sexual intercourse with someone, you expose every part of yourself.
That's because it's a sexual energy.
Sidebar, I don't just get completely naked when I first start having sex.
You ain't got to get naked.
Is that the exposing that it's talking about? I know it's not, but I just wanted to,
I'm not even going
do y'all go
Next.
full naked first time, or y'all keep it like a shirt on, or you had the bra?
How he gonna get to my titties if he ain't shut up?
I guess the same way the internet is getting there right now. By tuning in to We Just Talking This on YouTube. If you're listening to us on podcast, go on and switch over there to our YouTube channel. But yes, it's when you expose yourself physically, but you also expose every emotional scar and insecurity. Having felt this level of intimacy is enough for a bond to be created between two people. And that's why I'm not even going to read the rest of it, because that's what, it says in the Christian tradition, but everybody's not holy. So,
especially when you're doing the act.
The physical.
So the physical alone is definitely a soul tie, because as Q stated, you can't get any closer than that.
That you're exchanging two energies. How
plugging into one another.
Yes,
so
it's literally plugging in.
So how do you know if it's a healthy soul tie with a person? Because you have physical in all levels of that. Like you having sex with your soulmate, your twin flame, if you got one, your soul tie, all of it, negative or positive. So how, if you're trying to question first if this is a soulmate or a soul tie, how do you feel after you're done having sex?
With the soul tie?
Yeah. With that with a soulmate.
Depends. It just depends. Sometimes
let's
with
do the first 24 hours after. Let's do that. 24 hours after.
Again, it depends on if I know that this is already like a toxic type soul tie. But if it's one of those, I want to keep getting this. But if he one of them toxic soul ties, at first you just like, great. And then the next moment you like, why the hell did I do that? I didn't want to do that. But
even if you like it and you want it again, you may feel a regret. Even if it's good and you're going to do it again, do you feel secure or safe after you're doing it? Or do you question, was that worth it?
That's a real question.
I'm an overthinker, so I question it all the time.
You question it all the time?
I question everything.
Okay.
I let too much run through my head. I've gotten better. Much better. But I'm an overthinker. So afterwards, it's like for me afterwards, I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so do I get up and leave now, or do I stay? And then he'll grab me and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna need to stay for about 20 minutes. Do I stay for 30 minutes? When do I get up and leave?
I guess the better question is, if you're having like feeling, because with a soul tie, you still have some feelings there. I'm not talking about a hookup or you and your whole phase or whatever. Okay, I'm talking about you feeling each other and it's a mutual feeling, but you haven't yet determined if this is toxic for me or not. That's why I'm like, you're thinking that this can go the distance. That's how you can't tell what type of bond it is almost until it's too late. So we're not talking about hookups. We're not talking about you and your whole face and just doing it, but somebody that you're feeling, that you've entertained the thought that this could go the distance, and then looking back, it ended up being bad for you and something hard to get out of. How did you feel after sex? This is real specific. Like, this ain't no whole phase stuff, because these connections aren't created until you, like, you know, entertaining some seriousness.
This is before I realized that it was toxic.
Right.
I felt like you said, I felt like, okay, can go the distance. I was like thinking in my head that I really like him. I can really do this. I kind of was starting to say, well, you know, that little flaw ain't nothing. I can deal with it. I just was really overthinking. I was taking the damn relationship way too far, too soon. And then, you know, but after the sex, it was. Hey. How you doing?
Hey, boo.
I don't miss you, though. I don't miss you.
And you did.
I don't miss you no more. Maybe a little bit.
When time?
Mine's is all whole phase. When it starts getting crazy, I just leave.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
If I know that if it was just sex, and it starts getting crazy, I just go. So mine.
Okay, with baby mama number one.
Let's go. Interview.
Baby mama number one.
Come on.
That wasn't just nothing. It started off that way, but you failed. So once you started falling, how did it feel after sex? What were your thoughts?
I really liked it, this girl.
No, really?
But it didn't get toxic
until the second time y'all gave it to?
Until someone said she was pregnant.
Interesting.
Then it got toxic, and I took it toxic.
Yeah,
but you were liking the toxicity.
But our physicalness was physical.
It usually is.
But like when I saw that, I knew when it was going that route. I just let go of the steering wheel
and crashed head
and we
first.
Crashed right into a baby,
a brick wall,
crashing into you.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll on to the next one.
Emotional, like Carl Thomas. This happens when you feel comfortable enough to share your deep. Yes.
Yes. I was just agreeing with you.
This happens when you feel comfortable enough to share your deep feelings and experiences with someone. Yes. Going through the ups and downs in life, you only strengthen the bond you have with them. When talking about emotional soul ties, there can be godly and ungodly emotional ties. Godly emotional ties are ties that keep you grounded. They develop with friends that are willing to be by your side when things get rough. They are there for you in good and bad times. They are good for you in good and bad times, because you have to know that all of soul ties don't have to be relationships where they're sexual.
Right.
It could be between friends.
Your friends, family members, parents, etc.
Mm-hmm. What it says here, this type of tie usually occurs between good friends. Yes, like I just said, but for the bond to be stronger, it needs to be two-sided. You need to be there for your friend and the one who will stand by your side and give them the strength when they need it. Furthermore, some ties will turn out to be toxic. This occurs when the other person tries to manipulate you into changing your fucking behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Once formed, these ties can be hard to fucking break. You have already emotionally bonded on a deeper level. So now we have, if we were going in order, we've now had sex.
Mm-hmm.
and now we're sharing emotional shit with one another, past
and now
stories,
it's getting thick
history.
real quick.
Getting thick real quick, like what's sitting in Patria's seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ass.
So so yeah, and it's like, is there a particular order when all these things or these two things happen?
It can go in several orders. This day and age, most of the time, it's the physical first.
It's the physical first.
Usually.
Yes.
No, I take that back. Okay, we got the 5 things here. It's the social first, then the physical, then the trauma bonding, then the emotional, and then the spiritual.
Well, let's stick a fork in that question. Let's. You got anything you want to add to that emotional?
I mean,
Carl Thomas?
It's stacks on stacks on stacks. Like that emotional side, after you've opened your body up physically, when it's that type of relationship, it's getting thick real quick. If it's a friend, now you feel indebted to them in a sense, like if they were there for you in a time of need, and then if they have a time of need, you feel obligated on the one sense, and it's just kind of like, you have to support one another. But let's say, because you're human and we all have human limitations, we can't be there for that friend in a moment because we got something going on. Now, where it goes from still being a good soul tie or a friendship soul mate thing and not a toxic soul tie, is if that friend holds that over your head because you couldn't be there, because they're not respecting that you're human and you have things too. Yeah. And so that's when it goes from toxic to staying like a healthy bond, because there are going to be times where you truly want to be there for your friend and they need you and they've done it for you in the past, and you just can't because your kids, something is going on with work or whatever. And if they don't understand that, then it adds that other level of toxicity of holding it over your head. Well, I was there for you and you weren't there for me, but you called me my friend. That guilt tripping and that kind of stuff, that's where you start seeing the line with that. And the same for who you sleeping with too, after y'all getting emotional and you was there for them for whatever, which would go into the trauma bonding, which adds another level of false sense of loyalty per se. If there's a traumatic situation, it's really scary. Like if you meet somebody and then like they have something really traumatic happen in their life, you go like, should I get closer to them or should I back away? Because if you get close, it becomes like love bombing almost, and you're bonding based off of a traumatic situation and it's not a true bond. But then you feel like you gotta stay there because when I met them, they parent was sick or dying, or they had a bad car accident, or they lost their job. And so now you're like, well, I don't want to abandon them because they don't have anybody. Why they ain't got nobody? Y'all just met 2 weeks ago. How that work? You mean tell me you ain't got nobody else and now I'm your everything after knowing you for 2 weeks? Red flag. But you got some people that want to be needed and want to help. So then they're going to latch on to that and they're going to hold on. And then 3 months later, you starting to get to know this person. You don't like them, but now you want to stay because you've been there with them because of all that.
Fire.
So,
Fire.
Looks like I'm hitting some people in the face.
Fire.
Who wants to talk first? Rosa, is that you?
Let me go. I
don't even know anything personally. I'm just talking about how I'm talking.
We didn't even get to the rest of these. And as I'm sitting here thinking, I got one female friend in particular, and we took it there on all of these. And it's been toxic ever since, to the point where we block each other, or she'll block me for a month, come back. I see that the Instagram is back open. And then I know that
because you checked to see if you were still blocked or not. Let's put all the details out there.
Because the message pops back up in the Instagram when you're blocked on. When they block you on Instagram, the message disappears in the
in the messages.
In the messages. In the DMs. When they unblock you, it comes back.
It comes back up.
Oh, see, I don't know. I don't pay attention to all that.
So when I see that it comes back up, I know that this time the text message is free to go through. And now I'm just waiting because she's finna send that text and that call. And like the dope I am, because I'm a caring friend, I don't know why you're calling me. You could be mad, block me, but when you unblock me, I don't know why you call me. It could be an emergency. I'm going to answer.
I've been there.
And here starts the cycle of the toxic If it starts off friendly the first couple days, then I say something to piss her off. 2 weeks later, blocked again for another month and a half.
Yep,
It's been going like this
I've been there.
before my son has been born, because we had some history before my son was born. Then my son was born, and I told her that my son was born, and oh my fucking God. Crying, sex, and arguing. She even put her hands on me, tried to push me through the shower wall. I was going to be in the other apartment. Like, Dennis, what's up? I'm here. Let me walk back over. Yeah, to the point where she was falling. She'll say to this day, I pushed her off that steps. I didn't. She was falling. I went to grab her. We fell together. I picked her up. We went back inside, just mad and soul tied.
The sex was good. The sex was good after that.
We've only had sex out of the 5 years we've known each other. We only had sex twice.
Yeah, that's a heavy, toxic soul tie.
That tie is so sold. It's ridiculous. That's so. As I'm sitting here and we ain't even got to the rest.
The finger.
We have experienced all this shit. That's why when you sitting here speaking, I'm like, my face. You lucky I haven't got that other program together yet, because you be seeing some sick, sad faces right now.
Yeah. Rosa, your turn, because their face was talking too. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Well, I think a couple of my little ties have been through a
trauma bond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because I feel like it's because, one, Patria, you already know, I'm an empathic person, so it's like
you always want to, you attract the project.
I attract the projects, but but anyway, one of them, me and him dealt with each other off and on for 3, almost 4 years. As a matter of fact, I think he texted me about a couple of weeks ago, and the text was just, I didn't answer. He called me, and I wasn't able to answer the phone because I was on the phone. And before I could text back and just text say, hey, I'll hit you back later, it was dog ass. I was like, you know what? I'm so done with this shit with you, because it don't make no sense.
Are you done? So he's blocked?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have to block him. I just don't call him anymore. I don't block people. I told y'all this. I do not block you. I will just let your ass see all this greatness from afar. I'm
gonna get to that when I start getting personal about my soul ties and why I'm totally an advocate for the block and the erase and the delete.
Well, see, he won't.
You grown, so you still do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, there is power on your end that makes a difference when you shut it down, because you're low key still leaving the door open. You're not turning the knob. You just have the door open, like the screen door, so you can still see in and out and have a conversation, even though the screen door closed and you got the wood door open. You are still allowing space for access. And I can tell you how much energy is flowing through pictures. So you letting people see your life, what's going on. You don't know if they're doing screenshotting pictures, saving any old pictures. If they got access to your current energy, you just gotta know. It took me a minute to get to that, and I tell you about that when we get on down into that. But you do what you want to do. But I noticed something different when I started deleting numbers out of my phone that wasn't calling me no way. Deleting phone numbers, deleting the text feed, deleting off social media, blocking certain people in my phone off social media, just removing that opportunity for access to me, just completely not giving you a chance. Like, you can't even check for me at all. You got to go through somebody to check for me at this point. Like, I've gotten that serious about my energy, but that just happened in 2020. So it took me a while.
And well, like I said, with him, I know he ain't gonna call. He ain't gonna text, and it's gonna be a while, for the simple fact that he has no access to me like he did when I was there and when I was back home. So he has no access to me in the sense of there's nothing to remind him of me, because we don't even follow each other on social media. No, I take it back. He followed me on Facebook, but I ain't never really on there. So to me, when people follow me on social media, only thing you're seeing right now is the podcast. That's it. I don't post nothing else. I have posted nothing. So that's pretty much it. But before that, me and him just could not. And I think it was because, like I said, we had shared so much. When he was down, sometimes I was there for him. And then I kept telling him, I said, I'm always there for you when you down. But when I'm down, I don't even pick up the phone because I know you ain't going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it kept going back and forth. And I think right around 2020 was when I was like, what? I had enough of you. I ain't got time for you. And I left him alone. We would talk. I tried to be cordial and be friends because we did have a good friendship.
At one point, yeah.
Yeah, we could talk, we could laugh, we could joke about everything. But he would always eventually at some point take it to the next level. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, dude, I'm over there right now. Let's quit it. I can't do it no more. I'm trying to show you that I done grew up, I done did this. I don't want to see it. I don't care anymore. When I needed you to be an adult, you weren't an adult. You just gave me the facade that you were. We're good. We're good. I'm straight on all of that. So it took a while. And I think I kept looking at the fact that he had that was my stupidity of always, of feeling like they have the potential. I keep seeing other people's potential.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just with men. It's with women, as friends, as family members. I see people's potential so clearly, but they don't see it. And then I had to learn that I had to stop looking at their potential when they.
So that's your trauma bond with yourself. And we'll dive into that. We'll dive into that in the therapy episode next week. Like, why do you feel like you gotta pull the best out of people and just?
I don't feel like that no more.
Yeah, like
I done fixed it. I'm curious if your ass, you ain't where I need you to be right now. I don't. Bye. I'm straight. Ain't got time for it. I need you to be where I need you to be right now. I don't need you to be getting there. I don't need you to be 15 steps away. I need you to be right there so that we can go together to the next step, because I ain't got time to wait. I don't have that type of time. I don't have that type of energy. My energy is so not. I have no patience anymore for that. You either here or you gone. Like I told you with Mr. Alpha Male. With no car and an armed security guard. Make sure I put that armed in there.
Spiritual. These the ones that bring you closer to God, because she was about to
get away from God real fast.
These are the ones that bring you closer to God. You occasionally feel a spiritual soul connection with different people throughout your life. Usually they are the people who showed you the path towards faith in a higher power. For these questions and similar ones, you can consult with some of the best psychics online, or you can just...
No. Disagree. No.
Totally not.
No, that ain't none of that.
Leave them psychics alone. They ain't have
psychics. That's not even... That's a cursing word.
When you're watching MTV, just call those psychics.
You don't have to... You don't have to do that. It's so... The spiritual community is so not... Like the psychic online TV, that's like a novelty thing. That's not even that. I told you already, cute. Like the game is not online. If they're advertising like that online, they're not for real. Because those real practices and those real experiences occur in real time, and they're passed by word of mouth. I gave you the whole scenario with my stuff offline. That one from no Google or from no stuff like that. That's not how you get there, and that's not how it comes to you. Yeah, you can have, it don't work like that. It just doesn't. It don't work like that.
It doesn't.
But those spiritual bonds are very real. I had a good friend that worked with me when I was going through my divorce, and she would take me out in the parking lot at a Credo and would pray for me on the parking lot right there. And when I say I know her prayers helped me get through that first part of my separation and my divorce, I mean that. And even to this day, I still reach out to her from time to time. She'd be like, I just be waiting on you to call. And we'll talk and we'll catch up. And she'd be like, you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you good. And she's like she reaffirms some things for me when I call her in that way. And I do that for a lot of people too, for free and for pay, depending on what's going on. But psychics, take that out your vocabulary. Delete. that ain't it.
I meant to say this. Now, I do have another soul tie that is a great one. Me and him have known each other. What's my son? 20, gonna be 25, 24, one of them damn ages.
Mothers always seem to forget. My mother doesn't know how old I am, mother.
Look, anyway.
Because we start lying about our ages, so.
He fixed, I ain't got to lie, but shit, it was a long time ago. But no, my son's going to be 24. And I've known him I've known him before I had children. So, but every time I see him and every time he sees me, the biggest smiles come across our faces. And people have said, y'all forget other people are around when y'all see each other. But we've never like gotten into a serious relationship.
Have you had sex?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. But
so
when
that's
I
a type of soulmate.
When I was going through the roughest part of my life, I'm going to say that, he was there and he helped me out. And I think he's the one who actually brought me out of it, helped to bring me out of it. And I don't know how or what he did. I cannot tell you what he did. I cannot tell you how he did it, but he was there. And at that moment, I was like, during that time, I was like, we need to explore this relationship. And he was like, no, you're not ready yet. And I was pissed off at the time, but I thought about it later and I was like, he's right. I was not ready.
So are you ready now?
He has commitment issues. So we're neither one of us are ready for each other.
Girl, that's not what she asked you. Are you ready? Let's repeat the question.
She said, well, am I ready now?
Are you ready now? And you responded about him. Are you ready now? Nope. All right.
I don't know. I don't know because I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that I'm not, and I can't say that I am, only because we change. You know how things change in life? And I don't know where that's it. The last time me and him had that conversation was several years ago. So I don't know where he is to say that I'm ready for him at this moment, because I don't know where he is in life at this moment.
We're not asking about him. We asking about you.
As far as being healed and ready for a relationship, yes, I am. I'm very much ready for a relationship. Like I said, I just don't know if I'm ready for him.
If you be doing this in your conversations, then now you don't be answering the question.
I did answer the question. I just said I'm ready for a relationship. I am healed on so many levels. I still got things I'm working on. I still got things I got to heal about. But as far as relationship stuff, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that.
She ready. She said she ready, Q.
Just not sure about him.
You can't be sure about him. All that person.
I'm talking about if I'm not sure about.
Rosa.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to be in a relationship with him.
No, I get you.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is that ain't under your control. Just you under your control. So as long as you ready, what's for you won't pass you by. I promise you that.
Another soul tie, ladies, is social. We form social bonds when people we become friends with. With that
y'all niggas
said,
right here.
With that being said, even a fucking loner needs to have someone to connect with, because we as human beings are social creatures.
No one is an island.
Sometimes I want to be.
Social soulmates. Hi, y'all. 1 and 2 plus Peach and Punch.
Only on Mondays.
Only.
Really? No, that's not true, because my phone stay going off. I had to put your ass on mute.
I bet. It be cute.
Yeah,
yes, it's 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning.
Trauma bonding.
We already talked about trauma bonding.
Yeah. Trauma bonded it again.
We talked about it with the emotional trauma bonding. Is when you link. That's how you went off in your side story. When you get with somebody and they're going through some kind of disastrous situation, and then it's like you feel like you gotta owe them and you gotta stay there with them to get them through it. Or when you feel like your time is up in this situation, you can't walk away because it's like, well, they were there for me when I broke my leg 4 years ago and they never left my side. That's not relevant today. Let it go. or I can't leave them because, their sister died and they're not over it yet, and I'm helping them through that, and you sacrifice your peace and your healing and your need for an action that you've already done. Like, it's done now. And at some point, they got to do it for themselves. And so trauma bonding is you stuck because they was there with me through my lowest. You ain't at your lowest no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right. You're right. So
you still low?
So what?
I said, so you still low? Because they was there for you at your lowest 5 years ago. Are you still low now?
No, I'm high.
Now y'all supposed to be high together.
No. So, how do we know our asses have a soul tie?
Because all those things we just spoke about.
Depending on your relationship, you could experience around 5 important symptoms of having soul ties. Or 6. You could be Kanye. So you can't stop thinking about that person on the level of obsession. You may enter a stage where the only thing that crosses your mind is the thought of them. You get to the point where you cannot control your thoughts. Rather, the thoughts control you. Whenever you turn, you see a reflection of them. You may often see them in your dreams. Simply put, you just become obsessed with them. Have you been in a situation like this? Yes, I have. Yeah. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
All I could do.
I dreamed and would wake up like it was really happening and wake up crying. This grown 36-year-old fat nigga was crying.
What your cry sound like?
That is not what I heard.
You heard him cry?
Never heard me. Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah, she did. Wait, I heard the stop too. Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one, Q.
I fixed it. I did.
Yeah. Look, I did almost like you heard him cry. Oh, yeah, you have heard him cry.
I cried.
But that's okay. That's what friends are for.
But
that's what friends are for.
He can cry on my shoulder whenever.
There was a tall shoulder. There was mist in the air, and they had.
He's gonna be on Peach and Punch instead of your shoulder.
He was right here. He was right there.
He was in the midsection between the shoulder and Peach.
He wasn't doing that much crying though.
He was nuzzling.
Oh Lord! Hey, number 2, you feel like you've known them forever. When experiencing this kind of bond with someone, you may feel as if you know that person from a past life.
All right, pause. Time out. Flag on the play. That can be a soul tie. That also can be a soul mate. It's called a past life soul mate, meaning if you believe in the evolution and things, and meaning that your soul has been here more than one time, then it's possibly that in another lifetime, Erykah Badu, I guess to see you next lifetime, that you have been in some type of relation with that person before. So it could be a soul tie because it's another link that makes it hard for you to break away because you feel like you've known each other. It also could be the beginning of a really strong foundation with a healthy soulmate because y'all have done this before, and so you guys kind of naturally ebb and flow. It's not a lot of work,
so it can go either way. It's not a lot of work.
It could be either way.
It could really go in.
It could go either way.
That shit's so fucking confusing.
Very. That's why you have to stay vigilant.
It is, and having been there, probably the last serious person I ever dated. We started off on a trauma bond, but we also I had this uncanny connection, and I couldn't understand. I was like, the man was way across the country, and I was going through a mental breakdown because I had way too many family deaths around me at that moment, and I don't do death well at all. I don't do that's another reason why I don't do funerals, because I don't do death well at all.
I do, but it's $75 added to my
Rosa, keep going.
My bad.
God dang it. Do not disturb at the church.
I had not called or text. Well, I had text, but we were texting. He was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing." We were texting, and he was like, "Okay." And he hung and he stopped texting. Next thing you know, he called me. He was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Nothing." He was like, "Nah, you're not telling the truth right now, because I can hear it. I can feel it in your text message. He said, that's the reason why I picked up the phone to call, because something don't sound right. Something just didn't feel right. Mm-hmm. Are you okay? And it was like, next thing I know, I'm bawling and like, and the next thing I know, he was on a plane headed to me the next day. Like, hey, I'm right here. Things like that. And I was like, how did you even know? Because I didn't say it, and I didn't give any clues because we were texting, so you couldn't. You know what I'm saying? And having had that, and then I'm not going to even lie, much as I can't stand the dude, but my ex-husband was the same way. We could speak to each other without ever speaking words. And he would know exactly what I'm thinking. He'd know exactly what I'm saying, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. Had that connection. So now in other relationships, I be kind of craving that. Because I'm like, that's a connection that I want, that I need to have. I need to be able to talk to you. I need you to be able to feel me, because and like I said, I'm an empathic person, so I can feel. Shut up, Q.
You can feel. Shut up, Q.
I can feel other people.
Which brings me to number 4. You can't imagine being without them.
No, I ain't say that.
You skip number 3.
Which brings me to number 3. You feel connected with them on a deeper level.
Okay, so to pause, because Rosa made a valid point. One type of soul tie or soulmate connection can evolve into another one, good or bad. Like it could start off, like you said, as a trauma bond, and then it could turn into a different type of situation, good or bad. And so that's the thing with all of these connections. There are things that each individual can do for themselves that will change the dynamic of the relationship, causing it to become a healthy soul tie versus being a negative one, or turning a healthy soul tie into a negative soul tie, vice versa. So when you said y'all initially started as a trauma bond, but then when you looked up, it was kind of like this was like your past life soulmate. He could sense things about you without you telling. It was really easy. That definitely can happen in any situation as far as these bonds. Feeling deeper level. What did you read the definition, Q? And then
number 3, you feel connected with them on a deeper level. Feeling an immediate click with someone is one of the many signs of soul ties. Having experienced such an emotional connection means you have bonded on a deeper level with that other person.
So that can happen with a trauma. Like y'all can go through something traumatizing together. Like while y'all been dating 3 months, 3 years, whatever, however long it falls. And then you bond on a deeper level with them. So that could be soul tie or soulmate, because whatever tragic situation occurs, it could definitely bring you closer, because when you're in a relation with people, when things come up and that person rises to the occasion, that's how you continue to build that trust and that rapport. Like, okay, they're serious about their position in my life. And so with women, when we're dealing with men, you have to give a man an opportunity to show up. And men, when you recognize that opportunity, you should step up like, hey, this is a chance that I can show her I'm not playing, because that's how that works. And so when something tragic occurs or something crazy and you call or you show up, if they allow you to do so, because you got some people that shut down in traumatic situations and be like, I'm dealing with this right now, I can't talk, and they shut you out and they say, I'll call you when I'm done. For me, that kind of questions my validity in their life. For me, they close me out. And the last guy that I was seeing, Big Daddy, that was a soul tie. It was a toxic situation. And he knew that I was a person that I would show up for whoever is going through something. And he would manipulate that to his advantage or disadvantage. So if he would call and say that something was going on, I would immediately be like, okay, what you need? I got you. And then he would ghost me, kind of, and be like, well, it was just too much for me to deal with today. And he would like shut me out. And then if I grew cold and started distancing myself, he would come up with some other problem going on. And then he would let me help him with that one to keep me bonded to him. So it works in a negative and positive way. It can fortify the situation positively, or it can become something that they use as a manipulation tactic to keep you hanging on by the thread, which brings up everybody's favorite term, narcissism, with people. Because narcissists come from trauma bonding and they create new trauma to keep you bound because they know you want to fix it. And that's their line of manipulation to keep you, let me get her a problem and let her solve it. Or let me get her a problem and shut her down so she can't solve it, but she going to keep trying to solve it because I've let her do it before and she wants to fix it because she wants to help me. So that can go both ways too.
4, you can't imagine being without them.
Ooh, child.
When you find someone and you have a constant need to be around them every second of the day, you have formed a special kind of attachment. You cannot bear the thought of your relationship ending. However good this may sound, it can result in forming a toxic relationship with the other person.
Hell yeah.
Which never ends well. This is unhealthy. It's an unhealthy sign because you feel whole in their presence, but empty inside when they are not around. Have you been in a situation like that? Oh. Starting with Quentin. Yes, the fuck I have. Quentin, you're such a sap sucker ass nigga.
You heard it here first.
Out of his own mouth.
Sap sucker ass nigga award goes to
Quentin Rocco Berkeley, also known as the Simp Pimp.
Not the Simp Pimp.
The Simp
we
Pimp.
left that in episode 1.
No.
Negative.
So yeah, have y'all been in this situation as well?
Oh my God.
Of course.
I mean, it's like these ain't. I'm gonna stop asking that question because it's like once you go through one, you're going through
another.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Absolutely.
Because you feel trapped, and even like the last one, you feel trapped with them and can't figure out why. You feel trapped with them, and you can't figure out why. This sign falls under the category of unhealthy soul ties because they make you feel trapped. In some cases, the partner can even be abusive. But even if you know their bad habits, you feel as if there is no way out, no matter how hard you try to get away from them.
AKA karmic soulmate.
Let's go.
Can't imagine being without them. We're going to dive into this more next week in the therapy episode. That is the first step into mental abuse, isolation, because they lift you up and then it gets to the point where only their words, their compliments are the only thing that's valid to you. And so you look to them for your validation. And then in the middle of that, where you at? You going with your friends? Well, I really wanted you to be with me again today. You sure? I just want to spend all my time with you. And then you end up getting pulled away from your friends and your family, and you want to because it's new, but at the same time they kind of make you feel guilty about still having your outside friendships and relationships because they're trying to pull you so close to them. And then when they get you and you kind of cut off everybody else, then they switch gears and now nothing you do is good enough and you're looking for those compliments that you were getting at first. This was my first marriage, and that's the first door that you get to that becomes mental abuse, and you start second guessing yourself. And then when they feed you a little bone, a little validation from time to time, you cling on to that for life and you don't want to walk away because you're trying to prove to them that I'm still the girl you used to compliment all the time, that you wanted to be with all the time. Why don't you want to be with me all the time anymore? Like I do this, I do that, I do that. That was my marriage. Totally. And they hurt you so bad. And they teach you so many lessons that either make you weaker or make you stronger. Either way, you're coming out of that relationship a whole different person. Good or bad.
Yeah. I came out of mine like that. Came out of mine a much better person.
Mm-hmm.
I went through hell.
Ooh.
Trying to get to be a better person. But I did come out of it being a better person because Lord knows, Jesus, I went through some. The feeling trapped, the feeling like it was like I couldn't understand, why can't I stop loving them the way they stopped loving me?
Mm-hmm. Talking about to the point where I knew I needed to leave and I literally could not leave, y'all.
Yes, I could not walk out the door.
I could not leave.
And even when he left, I still couldn't leave.
Yep.
I was still trapped. I was still like, why can't I let this go? Why am I having such a hard time letting go? To the point where I was so miserable and depressed life was just ending for me as far as I was concerned.
Wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping.
Baby went from a nice size 13, 14 to a 5 in 2 months.
Me too.
No, ma'am. I was just like, how do you...
I get that small, but I got small.
I got this small. Doctors and nurses was like, what the hell? I was having health issues and some more. I was just like, I can't eat. I don't want food. I just don't. I want to stop feeling. I want to stop feeling because everything I feel is him. I want him to go away. Can you tell me how to do that? They was like, you got to just stop. If I could just turn the light switch off,
I would.
I would have turned the damn light switch off. That junk would have been flicked a long time ago. But I couldn't. And it took time. It took a lot of time. It took me really being focused on saying,
which brings
got to be over.
Which brings us on to how the fuck do we break these damn ties?
My Lord.
Now that you know the soul tie symptoms and the negative effects such bonds may have on you, the only thing left to do is to learn to break those motherfuckers so you can move on with your damn life. Yes, sir. Now, these ones that are written down here may not work for you because I didn't do none of that shit, but they got here meditation. Thank you for that space bar. Meditation.
You're welcome.
The simplest yet very effective method is meditation. So is that like crossing my legs Indian style?
Nope. You don't have to cross your legs Indian style. No.
Meditation is just sitting with yourself. Sitting within yourself.
Sitting with yourself TV. Gets the brain moving.
Yeah. And sitting with those thoughts. Whatever you're thinking about.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But you gotta feel that.
It's not about clearing your mind. It's about allowing yourself to think and focus, and not focus on one thought, but just kind of allow yourself to acknowledge the thoughts that are coming to your head. Acknowledge them, accept them, and move on to the next one. And trust and believe. I'm still trying to figure out how to meditate a lot of times because when I do my meditations, I'll be sitting here. Did I turn the stove on? Oh, do I want some? Do I want a smoothie for breakfast or do I want apples? I do that, and then I say, okay, I decide I want a smoothie, so I'm gonna now I got that. Then I get back. Yeah, it's never a clearing. Oh, I don't. Yeah, because I overthink regardless. Oh, I used to. Let me stop saying that because I don't do that as much anymore. I'm still working on it, but I don't overthink. So, but yeah, I used to be so bad with thinking that I thought in my sleep, so I never rested. I think about stuff in my sleep. I wake up and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I was thinking about that. I fixed that problem. Now let me go back to sleep so I can fix the next damn problem.
And so then it says you have to identify them. You need to be honest with yourself that you are ready to move on and leave the unhealthy soul tie behind you. Oof. It may be hard for you to acknowledge that the tie exists. Many of us fear that the moment you own up to the problem, it becomes a reality and then you have to deal with it. But once you acknowledge it, you are ready to stop fighting to remain by their side and start fighting to let go.
You are fighting for yourself. You are now fighting for you. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And then it says, decide you are going to break this connection. Next, you need to take action. That said, the process of breaking soul ties is hard and exhausting. It is. Oh, my God. Deciding to let the bond go requires sacrifice and decisiveness. Whenever you have difficulty moving forward, seek help. Remember that deleting the person from your phone contacts or social media will not help you in. Remember that deleting the person from your phone contacts or social media will not help you in cutting ties. But
that's a lie.
That's a lie, as she stated earlier. There are a lot of online therapy sessions that may help you because
like BetterHelp.com.
Yes, because people don't want to go into therapy anymore. So let's do it via.
That's a lie. A lot of people do.
Yeah, but most therapists, and there are some really cool Black therapists in the Memphis area, but they all, because of COVID, they all offer Zoom sessions now. But there is a site called BetterHelp.com that allows you to screen through different therapists based on what you think you want to see one for, and you schedule a time and you meet. They have like this database within the system where you video chat with or talk on the phone, whatever your preference is, with this particular therapist at a particular time. They have a set schedule. They do sessions as late as 11 p.m. at night and as early as 6 a.m. So there are options. There are lots of options for that. But no, all of that, social media, all of that helps. Because the last situation that I was in, Big Daddy, the one that y'all knew about last time I was potting, I did all of that because when I finally accepted that this is not going to go where I wanted to go, I have been as patient as giving as many chances as I could possibly do. Now I'm betraying myself. So now I got to figure out how I can let go of this connection. And so deleting pictures, text feed, he really wasn't on social media anyway, but I knew the ways that he was able to see what I was doing. So I removed those, ended up not going, like I was parking my car in different places at home because I knew he liked riding by when I was still staying where I was staying at the time. He would pull up several times and like basically force me to open the door, basically force me to talk to him. And so it helped when I moved jobs and homes because he would still be pulling up on me today. If he knew where to find me, he would still be pulling up on me to this day. But he don't know where to find me now.
Well, can't nobody pull up. Can't nobody pull up unless they're going to take a plane. So I ain't got to worry about that.
Agreed. You have that benefit on your side. You right.
I never really decided to break the connection. The bullet did that for me.
Well, because you waited so long to break it. And then...
Because he wasn't never trying to break it.
He wasn't trying to break it. And so that was like, if you don't get it now, then...
I'm going to have to kind of show you the hard way.
Big man upstairs said, hey, take this real quick.
Yep.
You'll stop.
For real. For real. For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Mm-hmm. Now.
Material things. Burn it.
Get rid of it.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Gotta get rid of it. Yes. Change them sheets. Get a new set of sheets.
They're
a couple.
Sheets. They're just sheets.
Yes.
Hold on.
Hold
on. Get rid of the material things related to the person you are tied to when breaking unhealthy soul ties. One important thing you need to do is get rid of the things that related to the bond.
Burn it.
I can't get rid of a song that come on the radio.
I can't get rid of the kids.
Lord.
Ding, ding, ding. Rosa, ladies and gentlemen, wins today's prize.
Get rid of any gifts, written notes, or anything that still links you to that particular person. Looking at the objects that at some point meant everything to you because they were from the person you loved the most in the world. From the person.
Throw away those sex toys.
Well, wrench them off. X can cause unnecessary pain and hinder you from moving forward and opening yourself to the new relationship. Donate them, throw them in the trash, do what you have to do. Sex toys. Yeah, you can. Just remove them out of your sight and don't you think of stashing them in the attic. As a matter of fact, you guys keep that going. I got something to show that hold on. Keep going.
Oh, God. Okay.
But hold on. So when I got ready to move out here, I still had the same bed. Because we had just purchased it. The same bed, same mattress, the living room couch. All the furniture and stuff was still the same from my marriage.
Yeah. When I first moved, I had all that too. Yeah.
I did not bring any of that with me. Mm-hmm. I threw it all out. Mm-hmm. Anything that he gave. What the hell? He got a monkey.
This is what they're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is a stuffed animal that I have gave to an individual. After the breakup, and I went to go get my things, I went to go throw something away in the trash can outside, and he was in it. Why do I still have it?
Yes, why?
Because I'm finna wrench it off and give it to somebody else. Ladies and gentlemen,
you nasty.
Valentine's Day.
Don't be giving
hepatitis ass monkey.
Valentine's Day 2023.
That
One of
old
you lucky
janky
ladies
ass monkey.
will get this monkey.
That's a janky monkey. You shouldn't give it to
she
nobody.
Was cuddling with, thinking it was me.
And you gonna give her that same energy, them same vibes to the newbie.
I said what I said.
Don't do it.
Valentine's Day 2023.
If you get a monkey from Q,
lucky podcast.
throw it at him. It's you.
Hepatitis ass monkey, dumpster diving and shit, or rinse it, a Goodwill ass monkey.
But hold on, I had to throw away Valentine's cards, birthday cards, all this stuff. I used to keep it because I'm so sentimental about stuff like that. I kept all of those. I threw all this shit out. All old pictures of ex-boyfriends, people that I thought would, I threw all
Favorite
this shit
thing for
out.
me to tell my reading clients: can you pull a new car in your garage if it's a car already in it?
Yeah, if
I
it's a
can move it
2-car
over.
garage. If it's a 2-car garage, maybe a 3-car garage, yeah, I can put it.
All right, but y'all know the real answer to that question.
Yeah.
Can you put a dick in your pussy if it's already a dick in there?
We back. Sex episode. We're back at it again.
Since y'all want to play with the nice car analogy, let's just go.
We gonna flip it.
Depends. They do have that double penetration.
Lord.
If the dick's small enough, the other one's small enough, you might can get another one in there.
No, you.
We
no,
are
you-
selling scrimp. And we just talking this.
No, you.
No scrimp zone. No scrimp zone.
No, you cannot.
Better.
No, you cannot pull another car in the garage that's already full.
Thank you. Y'all want to play? I be trying to keep my nun shit intact, and y'all heathens be trying to gangster. Know what I'm saying? I be trying to-
Here we go. Here's the hard one. Here's the hard one. Forgiveness and release.
Relax, relate, release.
Learning to forgive is the most powerful way to free yourself from ungodly soul ties. Yet it is also the most difficult step to take. You may not see the reason why you should be the one to forgive when you have done nothing wrong. Tell me about it. But you may even strongly believe that the other person should ask for forgiveness. By forgiving, however, even though you have nothing to apologize for, you show strength because forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The aim of learning how to break soul ties is to identify any inner debt. Working with, here we go. This is your personal preference, but if you want to work with some crystals, especially the ones with the rose quartz crystals, can help you forgive and release the bitterness you have inside you. Girl, I saw,
It's not an easy thing to do, and it's damn sure not something you do immediately.
because I saw them crystals fall out of Peach and Punch over there.
Leave my crystals alone. They have to be there.
See the crystals.
They have to be right up under my heart.
The visual, ladies and gentlemen.
So
Right up under my heart.
when we go back, we go because this crystal stuff.
We gotta go back before then. We go back before then. When you said you don't have anything to apologize for, it take two to make it work. It take two to fuck it up. So now everybody is at fault in the situation. Now the big break is what it is, but you are not perfect, and neither was that other person.
Right.
Point blank and period. Also, you have to learn how to accept the apology that you will never get.
Thank you. I was
For
just gonna say
closure,
that.
close that shit yourself. Don't wait for them to come back and figure it out and say it. Sometimes you have to forgive a person for an apology you will never hear.
I did.
And sometimes the forgiveness is forgiving yourself, allowing yourself to go through it.
Yes, ma'am. Say that.
Sometimes, let me say it one more time. The forgiveness is allowing yourself to have gone through what you put yourself through. That means that you have to hold yourself accountable.
Come on
for
in
your
here.
own faults and your own part.
Yeah.
And everything that took place in that relationship.
You're
because
preaching.
You allowed it.
She
you
preaching.
allowed certain things. You allowed yourself to be placed in that situation because you saw it was wrong. You felt
Red
it
flag.
was wrong. You knew it was wrong. And yet
You was at Six Flags. Come on.
sitting there having a ride of your life. So you can't get mad just
Loose your hole. Come on.
you can't get just mad at that other person. You got to get mad at self and then forgive yourself.
Come on. She preached.
I had to do it myself. I had to look at myself. And sometimes I keep telling people, sometimes when you have to look at yourself, that mirror
ain't cute.
is ugly.
It ain't cute.
It is not cute. And that's why people don't want to, that's why people blame everybody for something else, because it's hard to turn that mirror around and say, oh, damn.
This you, bitch. Like Issa on Insecure. Mirror, bitch.
Mirror, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So forgive
Reflection.
yourself, forgive that person. And at that point, you can release and move on.
She preached that. Quinton.
Recite the prayer for breaking soul ties.
You skipped the crystals.
You said you wanted to know about the crystals.
We went back to the forgive part first. Now we got to walk back up to the crystals.
Well, crystals. What's so special about these crystals?
Crystals give off energies that you
energy.
Like the sandwiches they put the onions on.
I like White Castle.
Oh,
I don't like none of them gas
one
burgers.
out here. You get the box White Castles.
No, I only get them when I'm a in Missouri and Illinois.
That's all they have here. So I mean, I think I've seen a crystal. I don't know if I've seen one or not.
But no, we're not talking about the sandwich. We're talking about those other crystals.
Yes, I keep
learn
about
purse. Them. Please learn about them. Read up on them.
Each of them hold a different power. Each of them hold a different type of energy. Each of them do something different. And
I was getting
my kids even have them.
I was getting head one time, and I went to go feeling her breast.
And she had some crystals in it.
And she told me don't do that because she has some crystals in it.
My kind of girl.
I was like, oh my God, just finish up.
Because this selenite sitting right on over here by y'all. I ain't got time.
Look, I got
this green aventurine right next to it.
I love my green aventurine. I got so many. Don't make no sense.
Look at my amulet out. My Brazilian citrine. Sitting right there.
I'd be scared of those crystal people because they always woke.
Were you in the room with the crystal people? Because Rosa, I started off. She flying by herself. Now go, girl. High five.
They always hit you with the grand rising.
I don't.
Now, we
I
have
know goddamn biscuit.
We ain't never did that before.
I say good morning. No.
I'll be like, hey.
What's up, man?
Good morning, beautiful. Grand rising king. Blocked.
Nope.
Why you gonna block them? Because they saying grand rising.
Well, that's low key a part of his name in my phone though. But this nigga know that he earned that name.
That grand. Oh.
His name is King Warrior. His name is King Warrior in my phone. He earned that name.
Just something else be grand rising. Recite. Oh, now we're going to talk about prayers. Recite the prayer for breaking soul ties. And there are 9 prayers to help you with that.
You ain't put none of the scriptures in there.
No, I didn't have time because I'm not a deacon with all this.
I will tell you this. When I was going through accepting my marriage and ending it, I spent a lot of time in Psalms. Because David didn't have an issue with flipping the mirror on himself, as well as dealing with the people that wronged him, as well as how he wronged God and himself. So I would just tell you to take a dive off into Psalms, start around the 40th number of Psalms and ride yourself all the way up to maybe the 95th or 96th, somewhere in there, and it'll hit you at your door in some of those locations. Since he didn't give y'all any point of reference, I give you a little bit. You're going to have folks flipping through the Bible and they don't know what they're looking for.
Google it. We can't.
I just told that. I am Google. Look where Google got you on this show today. Ungoogled it, corrected,
give them everything.
Hashtag, highlighted, circled, X'd out.
So, in conclusion, we answered what a soul tie is. We helped you try to break them, and you're going to have to deal with that the best way you can.
Yep.
The most purifying moment you'll experience is when you finally let that damn bond go.
Like that old podcast episode we had, Let That Hurt Go, sis and bro. We had a whole episode named Let That Hurt Go.
Let That Hurt Go.
We getting that next week.
Just close your eyes and feel as the universe is showing you the path towards greater things. Because, greater things be coming. And you be looking back like, I can't believe I was crying over this.
Yep, greater things be coming, and you have greater ways to come.
Gee, folks.
Did y'all catch that?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't gonna throw it back. Well, fuck y'all too then.
Look, I got a question though. Back to this tarot reading. You guys both had one?
Mm-hmm. I've had multiple tarot readings, and I do them as well.
Okay. So,
and she gave me my first one.
So
I bust your cherry. Thank you. I'm good at busting cherry.
I'm only getting the brunch cherry, but bursted. That's the bursted. That's the only one. The only one I'm gonna let you bust. But you said you got one, Rosa?
Yes.
Who gave it to you?
Patria.
Her first one.
And what made you want to get the reading? Like, what made you say, I want to get the reading. Before you answer that, in my head, I'm like, I'm afraid of, I fear the truth of what's going to be said, making me not want to get the reading.
That means you're not ready to hear the truth, regardless.
So, okay, well, then what made you want to hear your truth?
I wanted to hear the truth. As a matter of fact, I was interested. It was not scary. It was nothing that I didn't already know. It wasn't anything that I didn't already know. These were things that were told to me that just kind of gave me confirmation of what I already knew.
That's all it's going to do.
Girl.
And once it gave me that confirmation, I was able to move forward to the next step. Now, I've had a reading from one other girl, and she was really good, and she talked to me. Now, I'm going to say this. Because she was actually word of mouth. It wasn't like she dipped into, because people that
that's normally how it really works. You getting authentic because it's word of mouth. Like, we don't advertise that kind of thing, because the amount of energy that it takes to connect to a person's situation and go in and be accurate, you just not out there like, oh, I'm doing 45 readings today. Hell, nope, don't work like that.
So when she gave me my reading, my thing was first, okay, she knows nothing about me. I'm going to be quiet and see if she can tell me about me.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Patria gave me my reading, Patria already knew me. But she
I didn't know you like that.
She didn't know me, but she knew me.
Yeah.
So, but the thing was, she told me things I had never told her. So that let me know what was up.
Mm-hmm.
This other girl, she gave me my reading. She told me stuff, and this woman didn't know me from Adam's house cat. So, yeah.
You and cats.
Well, you know, cats is
last week was on the stove, and now Adam got a house cat.
Adam's house cat. She be meowing. So
I'm sorry, I'm gonna shut up. Keep going.
So she didn't know me, but she gave me a very authentic reading, and I was able to go to the next step because I had so many questions. As a matter of fact, I had just moved out here, so I had a lot of questions, and she answered them, and she was like, I'm seeing something, but you're very quiet and very vague. She said, I normally don't do this, but I'm gonna ask you some questions. And she asked me, and I was very vague in my answers, just so I can make sure she was giving me. And once she asked me one daggone question, one. And from there, she was like, oh, okay. So what I'm hearing and what I'm understanding and what I'm seeing is this, and this. And we were able to go from there. The thing about, like I said, having tarot readings, everybody can't give you a reading, because for one, like I said, everybody's not gifted, does not have that gift, that is not in their ministry for life. Also, some of these that do have the ministry for ain't always good for you.
Mm-hmm. You got to find somebody that works for you.
Because some of these people out here are jealous regardless of you being you. They may see the cards and be like, I don't like her, and then go ahead and tell you the wrong stuff to do.
Yep.
So you do have to be discreet in who you choose to do that. You know, and then, you know, you got to understand, you can't tell everybody that you're doing it. You can't tell everybody what's going on, because, you know, you're dabbling in the devil's work. You know?
And it's not that at all.
And it's not at all.
Like,
so,
I use this analogy because I get it whenever it does come up in mixed company, which it doesn't much because I don't really speak on it. Most of the time, people sense that on me and then just start having conversations, and it goes from there. And that's usually how I roll. But I have been in mixed company where it's come up, and it's come up like, so what about God? I'm like, God is ultimate and supreme over everything. I said, but check this out. When you pray and ask God to clean your house, don't you still use Clorox and bleach and Windex and Fabuloso or whatever else you use to clean your toilets and your bathtubs and everything else? Or do you just pray, Lord, give me the strength to clean my house, and then that be that? But don't you have additional tools that actually give you the true oomph to be able to clean? Are we correct? Mm-hmm. That's not belittling God. That's not saying that God is not supreme over all. That's not saying anything of the sort. That's a whole different conversation. Just like you say, Lord, I'm going to the doctor. I pray healing over my body. But if you're required to do blood work, if you're required to take certain medication, if you're required to go through a test, that's not stopping the prayer, but there's still some other things to help that healing come about, like literally. So tarot is the same thing. It's just another way for you to make an informed decision on your life. And it's just somebody else that has a different gift than you to kind of direct you, just like a doctor has a different gift than you have.
Yes. Very much so.
Same thing.
Same thing.
I don't play with no devil.
Not at all.
I like his lettuce sometimes, but I don't play with the devil.
His lettuce do be good, especially in a brownie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was a deep one. And if you've been listening thus far, the timer been ran out. So that means it's time for us to go. And I hope we have helped you understand the difference between the two. And if you still need more, just be brave enough to get answers that you already know.
Yeah. Seek help. Therapy is an amazing thing.
Speaking of therapy,
that is next week.
We finna therapize y'all next week.
Therapize? This Negro come up with his own words.
Did I tell you I got a graduation date?
No, congratulations.
Y'all still got a minute before I be officially therapizing y'all on the books, but my graduation is May of 2023. So
that's just next year.
Yeah, yep. So psychology degree and biblical studies degree, bachelor's in both. I'll be done next year.
So it should be outside by then. So it should be outside.
That's gonna be birthday and graduation turn up. It's gonna be ridiculous.
All right. So you heard all of that here first on this episode, and we thank you again for listening to all the episodes 1 through 5 is out.
Six is out. This is 7. This is 7.
6 is out. Plus a mini-sode. Yeah, we doing the damn thing. And I see y'all really like to watch the videos over the audio. That's cool. Just let me know so I can save me $25. Which one do you prefer more? So yeah. And yeah, this was deep. My mind was racing. It's racing so much I got a slight headache.
Oops.
But it could be.
That's probably because he was watching something else.
Yeah. I was about to say something nasty because I was told I always take it there. So I'm going to take it somewhere off of here on We Just Talking This Torch Edition version 2. Come on, ladies. Let's try it again. Y'all be coming in so late.
Really?
Thank you for watching and listening to We Just Talking This Torch Edition version 2.
Oh shit.
All right. We'll see y'all next time. Shit.